Recently, Pearl has been getting lambasted over this post on Twitter. Let's check it out. This is getting out of hand. Looking at the post, we'll take a look at it. Nothing better than momming. Nothing creates as much pure joy in me, from Mikhaila Peterson. Let's look at this picture. What is the topic of this picture? What is the center of this picture? This downward angle into her cleavage. Is it the baby here in the periphery or her tits? She's wearing an over-the-shoulder dress that has been pulled down specifically for this picture. What are we pointing out? What is getting out of hand? Women seeking sexual attention from male strangers. This is just sexual validation. And I'm not against cleavage. I'm not against women posting pictures on the internet. But when you're trying to make it about a baby and just fucking own up to what you're fucking doing, this is what is. All right? And you can only do it. This is single mom behavior. Some of the attacks from the Tradcons and somehow also the feminists who have decided to have an unholy alliance against Pearl Davis and the Red Pill for some reason. I wonder why. Maybe because a lot of the Christian women Tradcons are actually feminists in disguise, which was already uncovered by people like Kevin Samuels, for instance. But we all see it. But no one's trying to put a finger on it because most men have left the fucking church, or they're in some church that is completely effeminate already. Beyond that, it's like, oh, you're just posting this because she's better looking than you, and this you're just hating. Just because Mikhaila Peterson is objectively good looking, okay, doesn't mean what she's doing is tradcon or the correct thing. She's just literally throwing her tits out there so everybody can see and she can get attention from it. Like, what is this attracting? Is this good behavior? Call it out. To me, it's very clear what's wrong with the post that Mikhaila Peterson is posting, is that she's trying to sexualize herself through her motherhood, right? She's using her baby as a tool as an opportunity to sexualize herself. And now that she's got even more of the MILF body, she's getting the milkers out and making sure that they can really see the cleavage for the camera. It's fucking okay. Like, what next? An OnlyFans? I just don't understand what you're trying to. Having cleavage out, looking nice, having a voluptuous body isn't of itself evil. I'm not condemning this. What I'm talking about is the behavior of using your motherhood to act as a platform to show your tits. Just like how it's becoming more and more prevalent. Okay, because they're doing this for attention, right? And it's becoming more and more prevalent for people to breastfeed on social media for attention. Like, literally tit out and everything with the baby on screen, looking at the camera and then looking at you, looking at the camera and then looking at you. What is this? Oh, that's not pornographic. This is not right. That's not indecent. This is just a normally body function. Okay, can I normally body function shit and put it on fucking Instagram? Can I do that in public? Can I just piss anywhere? It just really seems like this absolutely pedantic reasoning why it's okay to do this. They're doing it for attention, which is completely absurd and inverted from what this is supposed to be, in an intimate thing with your baby, okay? And now you're putting your baby in a position next to your tits, which are sexualized, okay? Bitches want their tits touched in fucking sex. These are secondary sexual traits that are key indicators of sex. Men are sexually aroused by tits. It doesn't matter what is around them. So we're doing this for attention on the internet, and it's becoming more and more prevalent, and people are like, oh, what's wrong? Why are you sexualizing this? It's indecent. Why would we be okay with everybody walking around and acting like prostitutes, for instance, like going around and just wearing just netting and lingerie? That's fucking ridiculous. Okay? Why would we do that? Why would we have ridiculous... Oh, well, because I need to be nice and understanding. Motherhood is such a sacred thing. I have to be understanding for for their. They shouldn't have to cover up. They shouldn't have to do this more in an intimate setting instead of in front of everyone. Okay, all right. Why? Okay, jadedness isn't a fucking explanation. Okay, there's a decorum. I don't know any man that's just fucking okay with this either. Dude, I just this isn't the nakedness of the woman is meant to be sacred for the husband. I don't understand what we are getting to as a Christian traditional conservative sphere, okay, where we're going down on Pearl instead of Mikhaila Peterson, who divorced her husband after leaving her newborn child and her husband to spend a couple of I don't know how many weeks with Andrew Tate in Romania. Why? If he's divorcing her, I would understand. If she's divorcing him, which is, I don't know anything about this. But Christian law, the Bible, does not allow for women to divorce men. I don't understand why he would divorce her, though, the way that she's acting. And it's like breaking up the entire family and how this is acting, but then she does things like this with her tits directly out. I'm so happy about momming. I'm so happy about momming. Like isn't it like one step away from doing that? I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, that is very close to doing that.
It just seems so borderline obscene. And what is that putting out there? What is that attracting on X.com, on Twitter.com? This is like softcore, 1X. Okay? Why is it? What do you think that's attracting? Okay? Fucking teenage boys, simps, and as that progresses and spirals into OnlyFans or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? For other women, I'm not saying that that's going to happen to Mikhaila Peterson, because she's successful enough without doing that that she doesn't need to. With that comes more and more creepy men, okay, and more simpy. The simpier and it's like those are the men that are not going to get sex and are just wasting their money on women that they'll never have because they think they'll have a chance or they like how they look. They fucking super focus on this one woman and hyper focus on her like ADHD on this one woman because they become obsessive, and that's part of the male condition. At least for a lot of reasons why men are good at something, just because they can become obsessed with it. It's built into the system, and so they become obsessed with one woman, and then they're paying all their lives and simping and fucking not doing the right things. That's who's fucking supporting her right now, too. I mean, the simps. I mean, Mikhaila Peterson is not actively adding anything to this fucking universe or reality. But it's just like a microcosm of women getting sexual attention from strangers and doing weird things about it. Okay? Because this is a form of like leveraging your looks. Okay? Even in the Bible, leveraging your looks is considered a kind of manipulative thing. To leverage your looks and body to get attention or what you want. Okay, that's a manipulative thing. It's a form of control. And women like this. Women like feeling in control. They like making other men aroused. It arouses them that they are, I've made them aroused. Even if it's just a passing comment, it's just a little hit of dopamine, and it becomes more and more necessary as you become more and more addicted. Is this a good thing? No. That's why you should submit to one man, give yourself to one man, okay, a husband, and serve him as it is called for in the Christian Bible, in the words in the Tanakh, in the Torah. But what do we have? We have just a whole bunch of secular Christians. Like, they say that they're Christian, but really they're feminists. I'm not feminist, I'm red pill, I'm conservative. No, you're feminists. You want control over men. You want a partnership. You want a traditional man like Andrew Tate in Romania, but you want a partnership with that man, and you'll even leave your husband and newborn baby to go interview him. For what the fuck? That's hella strange to me. But so goes the game where women aren't being held accountable for anything. She can just continue doing this and pulling men in and simps and getting nothing done for anyone. And I wish that she would, because she's more intelligent than that, or at least be a wife to someone. But she's too busy doing whatever, the podcast circuit, writing books and coaching people or some shit. Don't take advice from a woman on how to date women, gentlemen, please. Okay? And women, don't take advice from a single divorced woman on what you should do for a man. And then, therefore, don't take any life advice from them. So, where are we going? We've gotten all this attention that's accrued, a use of manipulative control for one's just puffing of ego, and people wonder why there are so many female teachers, okay, taking advantage of young teenage boys, younger men. Why? Because they're in complete control. They're in complete control of the boys. These boys don't have nothing to the name. They have nothing to leverage against what they're doing in their life. They're in fucking Babylonian school, dude. And this is their fucking fantasy. These kids, this is their fantasy. And this is many men's fantasy. But is this a correct thing to do? No. Especially with the way that children are being brought up today, and they're so fucking infantile. I realize now how we have accrued as young adults all this infantilization of our life, where we're so obsessed with fucking useless things that we then put into principle in our lives, because that's how that works. The stories and myths you hear, which are the cartoons and the movies and the anime and the comics and the video games, all those stories are accrued up, and you kind of like, okay, I like this, I don't like this, this is how I like this character, I want to be like this, I don't want to be like this, etc., and so on. All that is a lot of infantile bullshit, and the women who are preying on these young men who are like fucking a couple of years after talking about Beyblade and shit, you know what I mean? Maybe even during the time, if you talk about fucking shit like that, Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon, fucking Pokemon's still big, fucking among people who are in fucking college. Like we have to be fucking, like, to me, it's very shocking, because it's like, why the fuck would a woman want to actually be with a child like that, like not a man? And it's because women don't control their emotions. They're controlled by their hormones, and they ride their emotions. Their hormones, when they're in flux, when they're ovulating, are, oh, well, I'm horny. And instead of it being this solemn thing that they give to their husband, it's this scratch that they need to itch, it's this hormone that they need to ride into an emotion. And guess what they're doing? Oh, this is wrong. This is dirty. Oh, this is like this story that I read one time, and oh my gosh. And then it becomes this, first it becomes a fantasy, maybe, or something. I don't know. I feel like a lot of times when you see people talking about it, it was a fantasy that they thought about and then they acted upon. And it's fucking inappropriate. Well, it's also inappropriate for, women to be in control of these young men to any degree. It should be split between men teaching boys and women teaching women. But there is no separation, because we look at our infantilized children as we should, because they're infantilized, not that they should be infantilized, and say, oh, nothing like that's going to happen. But they do, and it does happen all the time. And when it happens all the way around, It's way more secretive because women can keep a secret, but boys are fucking stupid. They're fucking infantilized, especially in today's society, and that's why they get caught. But you best fucking believe it's happening on the other way side all the time. It always has, and it always will, because the system is completely removed from the community. It's strangers teaching your children, and what the fuck is going to happen when you put people that are close in age and you have hormones and you live in a fucking godless secular society? Like, this is happening more and more because these women are doing the same thing that Mikhaila Peterson is doing, but on a smaller level. These boys are getting the pictures. These boys are seeing her dressed a certain way, talk to them a certain way, approach them a certain way. I'm not saying Mikhaila is like going out there and doing OnlyFans and talking to them, but she's leveraging her looks. And I'm saying that this is what women are doing as well. They're leveraging their looks, their control, their manipulation over these boys, their knowledge of what sex is and how they can manipulate other people with it. And the boys become victims. Should this be happening? Hell no. But we can look at it and we can understand, because society is completely broken and no one's trying to enforce shame and fucking marriage. Okay, these unmarried or even married women, no one's fucking trying to understand their role in their marriage. Instead, they're, this is a partnership and we're gonna, you know what I mean. And then when you don't have that respect for your man, all of a sudden you can entertain other men rather, in your mind. And when you entertain other men in your mind and you entertain these fantasies in your mind, it eventually comes out somewhere, because you spend time, you spend thoughts, and thoughts are the currency to your soul, like what you think about. So be careful what you think about. But this is all just a case study in what is going on today and the problem that it is causing. This thought behavior, this sexual attention behavior. I've gotten sexual attention from these young men. This makes me feel invigorated. Eventually you're going to act on it. And why is it? Because we have not that because we have social media, but because there is no code or standard in place to shame and these type of action. It's very outdated, it's antiquated, no one fucking cares about it, the shame that is there. There's no system of honor to even feel the shame. That's also antiquated. And there's no system to say we need to get married to survive our lives, to accrue wealth and not be constantly on a gerbil wheel, but rather consolidating resources and bills, we can go further in life together. There's nothing saying that. It's all about dating and fucking and going on and being a good worker and having enough money so that you can continuously do this game. Why would secular corporate society want that? I don't know. Why would they want marriage where many times the woman becomes a homemaker or works less hours? Why would a corporate... Wow. And that would drive down and it would drive up the costs of paying the other workers because there'd be less workers? That's insane. It's almost as if all of the feminist ideals that we see as equality today have completely thrown a rift into not only society, but the literal interrelationship between men and women. And that's a conversation that's being had on the internet, that's being had by Pearl, that's also being had by Mikhaila Peterson. It's not that any of these people are bad. It's that we have to look at this behavior and like break it down. Like, what is this? Is this what a wife does? Should she be, if she's looking to be a wife one day, or should she want a father for that child? You know what I mean? Like, why is she getting divorced if she does shit like this, obviously, and going to fucking Romania? I would guess. It's all kind of like a big shit show, but it's worth looking at because Why is all this abuse happening with female teachers? Because most teachers are women, and the times that they get put into place, they don't have a code, they don't have a, you know what I mean, they don't have scrutiny on them at all. It's going to change. Things are changing. Okay, the scrutiny, these phones, we're looking at all this ability to communicate and who's allowed to communicate and how can I watch my child's communication. It's going to be more and more um, strict. I see in the future compared to what it is right now, because it's the fucking Wild West out there. And no one's standing up for the children. No one really gives a fuck. No one. I'm. Come out of her, my people. Leave Babylon. Leave that system of school. Leave all this fucking thinking, and come back to God's way, His Torah, His laws, which have been perfectly taught by His Son, Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ, who is God. I would like to say thank you for watching all the way through. Stay up, stay locked and loaded, stay vigilant. Shalom, shalom, peace, and